Welcome back for Game 4. It is Team Liquid Academy versus Cloud9 Academy. First versus sixth currently, Crumbs, as this is our final game with any tiebreaker implications throughout the playoffs. C9, they've been on a ridiculous win streak, currently 11 games in a row, looking to make it 12-0 to finish off their season. As you can see, they've already locked first, so they're fine. The outcome of this game doesn't matter to them. It's just another win in their streak. For Team Liquid, they could potentially tie with the Thieves, as you see there, and force our only remaining tiebreaker to play for that fifth or sixth spot, which you have to think, if you finish in sixth, you're probably playing Cloud9. So TLA may be warming up against the team they're expecting to face in playoffs.
Yeah.
If they can make it through the first round.
No one wants to be caught dead against Cloud9, whether it's Academy or LCS. The team is just too strong right now. So Team Liquid has a pretty significant uphill battle here, because they would have to fight for the chance to not play Cloud9 and also having to defeat them off of their undefeated win streak, which is a really long one as well. Odds are against them, but it seems like that's been the story of the day. If the odds are stacked against you and the pressure is not so much on you, then you might pull off a surprise victory.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure that could have been on Team Liquid has actually now been alleviated, because they're in playoffs, right? That FLICKR game that determined kind of their fate is already done, so they can at least be comfortable knowing that, okay, we made it. What can we show here against the best team in Academy? It has been Cloud9 that have been on fire, much like their LCS counterparts, as you say. But the draft has started. Tom Kemp, center of Felios. I'm starting to get some deja vu, Crumbs.
She's so annoyingly strong. And the laning phase, I think that's what it is, because players have a lot of voice in what they want to ban, and when you start feeling the hurt of a champion the second you load into the game, it's enough. You know, a strong jungler, maybe you don't see them until level 5, but you gotta deal with Senna and laning phase every single time. That gets to your head.
Well, Kalista also being banned away, so a lot of powerful marksmen being taken off the board in a lot of these games. Syndra also gonna be put on the bandwagon, as we'll see what the final phase 1 ban for Cloud9 is. Here it is set, who's seen quite a lot of popularity, so common knowledge indicates that first pick will be on here for Team Liquid, but maybe they don't feel like playing on today. Maybe they have something else in mind.
It has had that win, so no longer is he undefeated today, but it's been through every single time, and one champion that has not been allowed in every game is Thresh.
Ooh.
So Kao will get that in. Without Kalista, there's still some obviously amazing lanes you can make here, but nothing game-breaking.
I mean, that is like pure comfort. I mean, Yumi's also unbanned, by the way. So, like, this is a very strange first pick to me for Team Liquid. It just screams to me that Kao is like we're expecting a rough go here in the bottom lane, because King and Diamond have been just so dominant. Give me a champion I'm comfortable on. There is going to be Thresh here.
I like this.
That does leave the MF and the Ornn over to Cloud9.
Yeah, so you mentioned Yumi's up, and this could be Team Liquid saying, all right, if you want to take Yumi, we will take a matchup against it with Thresh. It sounds like Thresh could beat it, right? You hit a hook and you catch 2 people at once, so there is that value in it. It's not something that Cloud9 has to opt into, which is what I think their draft is saying. They're going with the Ornn. They're saying, if you want to commit to these champions that are a little bit more skirmish, less team fighty like Thresh, we're going to draft even more team fight and then beat you without the Yumi.
Yeah, Kai'Sa here for Akara, also a comfort pick. Early Silas for Yasuo, I'd argue another comfort pick, although is very good against Ornn. And Nautilus, of all things, going to be here for Diamond. That's the one they want to lock down, this Kai'Sa. So a very interesting start to this draft here. I don't think really what I expected at all, based on the games you've already seen. But hey, always happy to be surprised late in the day.
Hookon.
Again, for Cloud9, this game doesn't matter, right? They're just trying to show how good they are. This is a real, like, let's just flex on everyone game.
I normally would agree that it doesn't matter, yet there's still something that they're playing for, because most teams that have already locked in, they're not playing for anything. It's for showing off your picks. They're not showing off anything new. They are just playing the normal stuff, which makes me think that they really care about this win streak, because why not? Yeah. You can do it. It ends now.
Yeah, to be specific, it doesn't matter for the playoff implications. They're already first, no matter what happens. And that was true yesterday, I believe. What does matter, though, is kind of what you're getting at is, the momentum, the state of this team, how they feel coming into playoffs as the #1 seed. I think that does matter here. So it is very different to say, hey, we had some shaky starts and then 12-0 to finish the season is very different from, oh yeah, we went 11-0 and then lost again, right? It feels different, even though the result of the game will not affect the standings. It will affect potentially, how the team is feeling and how the team is looking, because they still want to be, if they're the #1 team, they want to present as the #1 team, the most dominant team, up to the bitter end here. As we're already done with phase 2 bans. All FG for Rek'Sai and Gragas, so 4 junglers take it away, make it 5 away from Liquid, as Elise is the pick for Inori. He went off on it yesterday.
Lee is open. I feel like they're just begging Schernfire to play it, even though he's going to have a really hard time pulling this champion off here against Cloud9. So opting for a safer play like his friend Spiga did last game, but unfortunately Sejuani, at least you're actually paired with some really cool lanes to make something happen this game with melees in both solos, so Team Liquid should be looking to play around them.
Yeah, this has been kind of the Team Liquid special. They're one of the only teams playing this Aurelia consistently. Again, with Blade of the Ruined King entering the meta, they seem to love building that on Aurelia. Renekton will be the counter pick here. That's a brutal one for wherever the Aurelia is going.
Cloud9 just answered everything that Team Liquid wanted to do in the draft and just try to go a little bit further, right? You go pick with Thresh Kai'Sa, and now it's MF Nautilus teamfight. You go skirmish early with Aurelia Silas. Now you have to deal with Elise Renekton, the strongest 2v2 with Ignite. So they're fighting fire with fire.
Certainly are. It's been a fun one. But again, Yasui very confident on this champion. Very curious to see how that matchup goes out. Renekton should win 1v1. And as you love to say, Crumbs, Elise is so good paired with that champion. So the 2v2 also should be winning for Cloud9 Academy. And I'm expecting unrelenting aggression, which is starting to become the Cloud9 organization's signature, I feel like, at least this season.
Yeah, and it's good to win those 2v2 skirmishes, but they have to lock down the right target. If they get overconfident, the quick auto attacks from Aurelia could amount to a quick stun from Sejuani, and disaster will break out for Cloud9's Renekton and Elise.
Yeah, we also don't see too much top lane Silas, actually, so curious to see how Jenkins navigates that, as well as Schönfire, who's on a very different champion for him. You can power farm on Sejuani, but it's not the same kind of aggressive, farm-heavy champions that he's really been known for in recent weeks in Academy. So certainly curious to see how the game checks out, but we will have to wait just a few minutes until we get there. Champ Select is over, so we'll have another break now for 5 minutes of delay in order to build up some delay for the online broadcast to preserve competitive integrity. So when we return, Cloud9 Academy are going to see if they can make it 12-0 versus Team Liquid Academy. Hey, welcome back. It's time for game number 4, as we maybe done it with the day sooner than we expected at Crumbs. Cloud9 Academy, our number 1 team here in Academy, is taking on the 6th and final playoff team. Or will they be 6th, Crumbs? They could be 5th if they can win here, and then play our only available tiebreaker against 100 Thieves for the 5th, 6th spot. But if Cloud9 Academy have anything to say about it, that's not going to be happening.
Well, at least Team Liquid certainly gave themselves the tools to get a win here, as they have the heavy aggressive Irelia mid lane with the Sejuani. So 2v2 will be the name of the game. So the Elise will be visiting mid lane as much as she can. But the Elise does fall off compared to the Sejuani. That's not a matchup that actually benefits Elise as the game goes on. So while C9 is fighting fire with fire, they are kind of on a timer in this 2v2.
Also, Jenkins here will be spotted on this ward being placed by Cloud9. So we'll see if Fudge and Inori want to actually disturb this at all. Maybe just telegraphing that there is an invade coming. So Cloud9 can be quite prepared for this here. But the recall going to be taken. Yeah, Inori now going to show that he knows what's going on. And Jenkins will be chased out as Diamond and Palafox will roaming up to thwart off that late invade, which is nice reactions there for Cloud9. The other thing that caught my eye is that we've seen a number of different Hail of Blades champions, but not sure I expected Kaiser to be the next one, but that is what Rikara is taking into this game.
Yeah, it's not bad, actually, because you end up dealing a lot of damage from your passive, and so this is a quick way to get that passive stack going, and because your build is usually fitting in that tier, you're also not very strong early, and this is a good way to mitigate that and have some kill threat with Thresh while your build is coming online.
Well, certainly have a lot of different lanes to look at here. Jenkins on the Silas versus the Ornn's kind of a cool counter pick. We've seen this a lot in mid lane, actually, when Ornn was getting picked mid lane. Actually, Yasui was the one that I think not either first showed off or was one of the early adopters of that potential counter pick into the matchup. But Jenkins lost that trade, so forget everything I just said. To be fair, Silas, I don't think like smashes on. I think it's more that like you steal his ultimate and it's cool and you just farm out the lane. But certainly losing that potential encounter.
He's got Kingslayer as well, but it's not a skill you want to be using all the time if you don't know where Elise is at.
Certainly true. Again, Jenkins going back in, but Fudge just bapping away. He does have the grasp this time instead of the spellbook, so constant combat power instead of the added utility and aggression that you can get by swapping to things like Ignite or Exhaust, and Fudge is just getting in there. It's like all the way back to the Cloud9 Academy's first games where they actually were, believe it or not, losing games in the early stages of the season. And Fudge was put on duty, it felt like every single game.
4-man.
Oh. 4-man versus a 3-man though. Schoenfei's read this really nicely. And Cloud9 Academy, I think, going to pull away now that they have spotted the enemy jungler, and indeed they will. But whoever did that homework, really well done for Team Liquid Academy to make sure they had enough there to ward off that dive.
Yeah, that's actually really big, because now the Elise, Renekton don't get anything in the early game, and the window that was open was actually in the top lane. It was Fudge that was doing so well up there that generated the pressure to dive Jenkins possibly, but C9 sticking to the game plan gets red and now doesn't get anything for it.
Yeah, we wonder why King and Diamond have been having such good games, and turns out they're a very good duo lane is part of the reason. But when your team is willing to 4-man dive at 3.5 minutes, yeah, that's going to add some percentage points to your win column, as well as Inori is going to go back over to the top side of the map this go around, as Shern finishes clearing out the rest of his red side jungle. And Yasui did go back pretty early as well, has a Doran's Blade to join that Corrupting Potion. So we'll have a slight advantage in the early lane phase right now versus Palafox, who's also been having good games. As it turns out, Cloud9 Academy have been good all around. One of the reasons they're the best team in the league, but Yasui getting in there. Schoenfei also going to join in. You mentioned it already. Crumbs, that's a beautiful first blood. Yasui able to grab it. Does have to burn the flash, but well worth it.
That's what catches you out of nowhere. The fact that Sejuani just barely shows up and instantly the Irelia auto attacks just stun you catches Palafox by surprise. And without summoners, this 2v2 can't beat Irelia anymore.
Fudge getting a flash though is huge in the 1v1.
Elise isn't there to punish. What are you doing? Going over there towards Yasui instead, and Yasui can mess him up.
Inori, an ill-advised bit of aggression onto Aurelia. Does not work out. Fudge is wanting to threaten this dive. Lands a nice E there as well. Actually bought a Sapphire Crystal with his passive to continue the harassment of Jenkins under the tower, which was pretty cool. But Schönfire is here now, and if Fudge sticks around for too much longer, he's at least going to get forced out.
Oh, no.
Jenkins has for this. Fudge going to get out, knocked up though, and again, the Sejuani visiting these lanes going to land the stun. Unfortunately, Jenkins does not have nearly enough health to try and die without risking his life, but at least Fudge is going to be finally forced out of this lane.
I'm glad Fudge canceled the building of his items there, because otherwise he would have definitely died. I think if Jenkins got close, he might have been able to buy some time with the Kingslayer and the stun that Schönfire would have guaranteed.
But instead, the response here is to take the Drake, which is very sensible here for Cloud9 Academy. Inori and Diamond will team up to take that one down. And Schön is on the bottom side of the map, but far too far away to try and take that. I will say that, yeah, Palafox dying there seemed like he was a bit caught off guard, which he probably shouldn't be, given that Aurelia Sejuani, when Aurelia was in vogue, was a huge 2v2 in both solo lanes. So certainly Schön and Yasui showing why they like to play this duo, getting a very clean kill onto the Renekton under the tower.
It's a stronger 2v2 later in the game as well. The Elise Renekton combo is really strong at level 3. The earlier, the better, and there's a play onto Diamond, who does have flash.
Diamond realizes he has to go in, does get himself hooked there by Cow, and he's just going to sacrifice himself. I think wanted to make sure King was protected, but another great gank for Schönfire here. Kind of on a roll with the Sejuani.
And doing a lot of work knowing where to visit, where you can get the most bang for your buck versus the ganks that don't actually net you anything. You know, it's 2020. The ganks you want to go for are no longer ganks that set you up for something. You usually just want ganks that are a kill the second you show up.
Well, Battle of the Ornn ultis potentially in top lane, as Jenkins has already hijacked Fudge's ulti. But again, Fudge just feeling so good in this 1v1 matchup. He's up almost 10 CS, almost 12, you know, for 2 waves. Jenkins in a bit of trouble still in the 1v1. Only with those 2 Anthems there to try and fight with. Vanguard's Edge in the mid lane though. Schönfire again going to line it up. He's got the ulti ready to go. He pops it. Palafox going to die with the ulti ticking away. And another great kill 2v2. Is Yasui going to grab it? It's now Inori going to be the target. Permafrost charging up. Doesn't need much more. There's the stone going to land, but Inori intelligently flashes out of there.
What an annoying combo for the Elise to deal with. The Aurelia just being so deadly. And they didn't even need the Sejuani ultimate to kill her Renekton, by the way. The E stun would have been enough. And then the ultimate could have followed up on the Elise. But that just shows you that this 2v2 has already gotten out of control for Team Liquid.
Yeah, not what you wanted when you pick Ignite Renekton mid lane. Most certainly here is your counter pick. I mean, again, individually that matchup is good for Renekton, especially early, but with the jungler constantly visiting, with the Blade Brewing King on the way, Fudge is going to be in a bit of trouble. Good knock-up, gets the double knock as well, gets the grass proc, is maybe going to try and fight it out here, but Schön, just chain ganking every single lane, is going to finally force the flash out of Fudge.
He knows where to go to actually guarantee melee target to have lockdown. Fudge on.
Yeah, I mean, King and Diamond kind of the only, I guess that's not true, not the only lead, but the biggest lead I think C9A now have after Schönfire ganked the top lane. Fudge still does hold an individual lead, but this 4-man dive they tried earlier is going to go again. Good ulti there as well. Couch is going to get absolutely smashed, and Rikara already dead as well. Diamond tanks a perfect almost amount of turret shots as he will die to the final one, but Jenkins TP's down and gets basically nothing for it.
That's a 5-man, and now Cloud9, not only do they have a Rift Herald, they're going to get more plates in the mid lane. Sorry, Team Liquid, they are really happy with that one.
Yeah, I mean, they'll channel Herald here in mid. They will look to crack this down. They're going to get 2 plates before the Herald charges. And that's almost them all away as they will finish off the Herald in mid. Will Cloud9. Team Liquid with a really good response. Love the dive from Cloud9 Academy. Again, King continuing to grow an individual lead. But Inori trying to hunt down Schönfire and pay him back. for all the ganking he has done. Gonna get that point-blank cocoon to the face, and kill donated to Fudge, who takes it happily.
I love that Inori donates the kill. He knows that at least at this point, without having found that much in the early game, is going to have to rely on their team, and getting the Ornn, his items quicker, is a step to getting everybody their jolly upgrades faster.
Yep, I mean, already has the full jungle enchantment finished. You know, has a kill and a couple of assists. So Inori feeling pretty well set up. We'll donate one to Fudge. King has gone back. He's working on the Essence Reaver, but he's only got the BF and the Hammer right now alongside the triple Dorans. And topside again, Inori. Oh my goodness, what a cocoon. Just threads it through that wave, and Jenkins absolutely dead. This time it's Inori that grabs the kill.
The angle was beautiful. I mean, that's perfect, right? The Jenkins has splash still. He can get out of that if that doesn't connect, but Inori finds exactly what he needs to when he needs to, and more plays going over to Cloud9.
They're continuing to try and find pressure as well, as they will try and knock down more plates. But 3v1 in the mid lane, hook into ult into death. Palafox once again has been slayed, as TL will take the first tower, take all the plates off the mid lane outer, and that is often a tough turret to crack, but no problem right now for Team Liquid.
It is crocodile hunting season, and with him falling behind, this puts Cloud9 in a really tricky spot, because when you're falling behind and you don't have wave clear, you can't stop the bleeding very quickly. It's only King who can truly provide wave clear and still commit to a fight. Diamond.
Ooh, bullet time again out of there. The Nautilus ulti is good. King able to get the kill onto Cal right off screen almost, as Inori joining in is going to try and make it a bit more even on the number. Shermfire dead. King grabs the double. Jenkins going to maybe make it a triple for the MF as well, but he flashes out of there into the waiting arms of King and Fudge, as King flashes over to secure that kill. A triple for the MF, and every single time Team Liquid seems like they have something going, Cloud9 say absolutely not. We are still the best team for a reason. They'll take the Drake as well, Crumbs.
Oh,
he is heating up.
Man, the best team and the best individual outplay, because guarantee you Team Liquid didn't know that there was a stopwatch on that Nautilus as well. That was such a big move. Teleports were committed as well. Was I mistaken? No, it was just flashes.
I mean, still, Team Liquid, they thought they had it there. Ooh, Kaiser in there onto Diamond. That is going to be a nice kill. Traded back over. Rikara taking a bit of time, but Diamond, he knows he's dead, so again, doesn't burn any additional cooldowns. Nice timing for Rikara to find that ultimate in to get a trade kill back, but still pretty far behind this MF with the Essence Reaver and the triple Dorans.
Look at how much damage that Nautilus did to Kai'Sa. Half HP through her ultimate, and with maybe 10% himself, with ult and ignite, he might actually
just keeps
1v1.
happening. Another 1v3. Palafox forced the flash. What a hook though from Cal. Finds a predict, goes over the wall, gets the lantern, and Palafox is dead again. Make it death number 4, Crumbs.
I mean, he's some shoes or maybe a purse at this point, but definitely not a luggage. There's just not much skin left on Palafox now.
So now it's a really interesting dynamic in this early game, right? Because Palafox is woefully far behind, but the side lanes are winning for Cloud9. Still with Shermfire, and actually this Kai'Sa getting a decent amount of credit for the action that's happened. Means that Cloud9 kind of have to play carefully with a mid laner that isn't really going to be able to do very much for a while. And maybe we kept out of this game even longer due to the nature of the matchup that he picked into. So
he won't be joining this game anytime soon.
Nope. But King has arrived fully at this point, right? It's just, again, so far ahead somehow.
You need to tell Renekton to just stop. Whatever he's doing, it's just, you gotta put an end to this bleeding, because Team Liquid, all the gold they get out of him, wait a minute.
Again, the cocoon happens, so he still gets drilled by the Ornn ulti after the flash, and that's a shutdown for Inori. They find the absolute snipe as Inori flashes out to safety. Cal, been accurate so far. I can see why they first picked the Thresh here. But not happening this time around. Team Liquid too late to answer a kill in the top lane.
Oh, and while they get that, now that you put Palafox against Jenkins, it's still in Jenkins' favor. Team Liquid's still having a good time because it's 0-4 against 0-2. So it's just a point that Team Liquid can continue to exploit that's putting Cloud9 in a specific play.
King left alone as well. He's got so much extra gold. 500. Who's it going to go to? It is Rikara that's able to grab the shutdown. A little overextended there for King. C9 take the top outer.
That's the gold where you want it. Kaisa is going to be your saving grace here. Maybe Irelia, but when the team fights happen and all the CCs flying around, it'll probably come down to your marksman to be able to stay away from the CC and stay committed to dealing out damage.
Yep, and again, we'll now have the battle of the two Fed marksmen because the bounties get traded over Akara. Now worth 300 extra gold, which is less than what King was, but King was just too aggressive there, getting himself picked off in the river. Very silly. But C9 going to continue their aggression. They're actually behind 1,000 gold now. As if I could see the gold graph, it would be quite wild, I would imagine, for the early game. But for all of the early game that Cloud9 were able to play, doesn't seem like they were able to convert to any sort of lead, as TL have paused the game. So we'll be building that delay back up and, of course, resolving whatever issues they do have. So, Crumbs, we got some time to chill out.
We do, and the players do as well. They'll be thinking about it. How are you doing, Pastry? We haven't done this before. Liking the lockdown.
Like is a strong word. It's fine, right? It's really cool that we're still able to bring you broadcasts from the comfort of our own homes, which is unbelievable. So that's been really cool. And actually, the experience has been quite seamless, at least for me personally. I imagine the back end is quite chaotic, but it's pretty easy for me, which is really nice. What about you?
Good.
Enjoying your remote broadcast experience?
I haven't really changed my lifestyle at all, actually. But the one, because I still get every fruit that I want. There was one thing, yeah. So what you said earlier, people that are not in esports or gaming or tech are having a really hard time. So it's really impressive that this show can still carry on, because there's a lot of people that are fired, laid off, or just really about to hit bankruptcy right now. This is a scary time.
Definitely, yeah, the impact will not be felt fully for quite a while. And to everyone out there who is potentially struggling, please stay safe, watch your hands, but definitely heart goes out, because it's tricky. And we're very lucky to be able to do what we do from our home, which is certainly not true for every job.
I'm also an Ezreal main now, by the way, 67%.
Are you after that game from Phoenix?
Yeah.
You're bought in?
No, before that, I've been playing only Ezreal now, so I actually have a really good insight into him, and the Conqueror versus Lethal Tempo argument.
Interesting. Have you played a lot of Conquer Ezreal, or have you been mostly on the Lethal Tempo train?
Decide. Yeah, I mean, they both have. So the tempo train has a lot of value in actually clearing out early minion waves. So what you do is...
Alright, so Crumbs unfortunately is having some audio issues again, so we'll get those resolved ASAP. But for now, I will retake over the cast while we get Crumbs back into more usual speech patterns. It's not his fault. It is, I believe, his internet potentially struggling, but that's okay. Again, not without challenges here for the remote broadcasting. But Yasui getting things pushed up in the top lane. Again, TL still holding that gold lead, but it is not awfully large at this stage. Shurnfire, though, may be able to break open somewhere else with that second Rift Herald that Team Liquid have picked up as we've moved ourselves back into the game after the pause. The Cloud9 are not letting go of their want to kill enemy champions, which is not surprising. The Team Liquid continuing to have good showings in their early games. That has been, I think, a feature of their recent games, certainly, as Shurnfire and Yasui build more synergy, but C9 in there, going to get the hook onto Shurnfire, and will be a TP in as well from Bud. So Cloud9 are wanting to start something here. Jenkins, we know, is in the bottom lane, does have TP, but there is a Drake to fight for as well. So Cloud9 going to get straight to the objective, and Team Liquid actually look like they're going to abandon any thought of a fight here. They're actually going to give Soul Point over to Cloud9 and just try and pressure some of these side lanes a little bit more. I don't know if that's because they think that they couldn't even win the team fight, even if they wanted to, or if they just prefer to give it up and try and get more advantage around the map. Kind of an interesting decision there, but Cloud9 very decisive onto that Drake, so they will take it down. Good damage here with the Rift Herald in top lane. This is, I guess, the reason to make the trade. Can take a tower very quickly. Fudge should be able to stop the Herald from charging any further forward, though. And that will indeed take it out pretty comfortably. So Cloud9 now have a very long top lane to try and contest with. But they're feeling pretty good about how early this Soul Drake is going to be coming in. We're going to have it at about 21, 22 minutes or so, which is awfully fast. And as we know, Ocean, one of the strongest souls, but they're all pretty good. So Cloud9, happy to force Team Liquid to come to them for those next few fights. So we take another look at Schönfire. Still hasn't quite finished his second item yet. Does have the Cinderhulk all done and dusted. But has been interesting to see how well Schönfire has been playing this game, especially playing through his lanes, which in his Olaf games, his Karthus games, it's not really the feature of play he was going for. But again, it does feel like his team could have had more time together. I mean, Schönfire got added to this roster late. FLICKR has also recently been added to this roster as they've built up synergy. Is like a lot of teams as they've had time to play together. It does seem like a lot of that synergy, a lot of that teamwork is being built up, and teams are able to be a bit more flexible with how they play. And certainly Schönfire has kind of given Yusui a lead, or at least was, and FLICKR now also very individually powerful as well. Powerfox still 50 CS behind that Aurelia. With Cloud9 just staying grouped together here, trying to make something happen in the mid lane. Great stopwatch there from Cow in mid. As Fudge did get the hook, sorry, as Diamond got the hook going, but Powerfox gonna lock down Schönfire. Lantern's gonna get him out safely. Redirect there onto Rikara, but nice Lantern there from Cow to make sure he saved the jungler. It's Cloud9 now gonna have to double back towards their mid tier 2 turret, excuse me. They're actually down 4 turrets to 2. As TL continue to grow that gold lead. Cloud9 though, again, trying to open up space in the mid lane. This is one of the most frustrating things in any mid game, when you don't have your mid outer turret and when you haven't taken your opponents yet. The longer TL can hold on to it, the more of a nuisance it'll be for Cloud9, because again, wanting to play with this on, play with the picks with the Renekton and the Elise, set up MF with the Nautilus ulti. Just again, find advantages and find fights, which Cloud9 have been good at taking. Really tough to do so when you don't have space. Most of that space is created by taking down the mid outer towers. So for now, Team Liquid in a pretty good holding pattern. We'll see if they can extend this gold lead anymore, as Yusui continuing to grow his individual advantage. The Wit's End actually finished already, which is nice. Again, attack speed good with Blade of the Ruin King. This is more of the Wit's End, I guess, has been a pretty consistent Aurelia item, but this is definitely far away from the Trinity Force standard that was Aurelia's strong point for so long, with how good the new Blade of the Ruin King is. But I guess he's expecting to actually care about the Elise, because there's basically no respect except those Tabi being showed to Powerfox in that 1v1. So Yusui clearly feeling confident about his original mid lane matchup. And we'll see how much damage he can get done in the side lane, although I imagine, as we can see shown stapled to him right now, that it's not going to be particularly fair fights that he'll be looking for. He's going to take this blue buff. Schönfire almost was able to steal it. And now a gank here onto the top side here. The double stun's out again, and Nori's Elise has been on point. As Jenkins going to steal the Renekton ulti, but just not enough to do anything there. 4-0 and 4 now for Inori, who cannot remember missing a cocoon on camera this game. Now he's the only one in Cloud9 actually worth additional gold, but again, the other side of the map, this mid-jungle duo that's been very powerful for Team Liquid for the majority of this game. It's kind of a tough spot for Cloud9 to look to play around, especially given that King is very strong, but on his lonesome is not going to leave the Aurelia diving on top of him, especially if the Sejuani is nearby. For now, it's going to just be 40 seconds ticking down as these teams set up for that next objective. It is the Ocean Soul that is available for Cloud9, as I've been told that Crumbs has returned. Welcome back.
I'm back, yes. Thank you. You're an expert at
plenty of practice.
Like
yeah, exactly.
Or Academy Rush.
All right.
So, what I missed?
Basically, the map getting split. Inori hits another Mega Cocoon in top lane to get himself his 4th kill. And now the Drake's being set up for here. Cloud9 are at that soul point already. 5 seconds for this Drake.
Oh, nice.
So Team Liquid probably have to fight here. Jenkins is real far away though, but he does have TP.
Okay, he's coming really safe. No flanks from the silence.
Fight 5v5. Cloud9 are going to aggress onto the Drake. They're going to force Team Liquid to come to them. Good steal there for Jenkins. Takes the Ornn ultimate away. And there it is. Going to burn it out. Knocks him back in, does get a knock up, but the flash away keeps him safe for distance. Fudgelo now gonna use his own ulti, and it's just a mess there. The bullet time positioning, perfect for King in that team fight, as now Palafox will re-aggress there. Schoenfire gonna be the first target. Vanguard's there. He's gonna make Yasui dive back onto King, and he does get the kill. The stun only lands on a diamond, but I think that's a second kill that they can get. The shield and the stone plate, not enough, but the stun is perfect for Inori onto Yasui. As Cloud9 do manage to clean up the team fight. Jenkins trying to save the back end of it, but Inori says absolutely not. Gets the Chilling Smite, nails the Cocoon again. I never doubted him as he goes godlike. 7 kills for Inori now in this game.
He is on fire today, and using the stopwatch as well to dodge out of the potential engage from Jenkins. And speaking of potential engage, that entire fight was just major ultimates being used, and then players looking for windows to get back to the back line. Yasui finds the 1 kill, but Inori's the threat here. He has
Well, I like
more
this play, though.
kills than
Very
anyone
aggressive
else.
from Team Liquid, trying to trade for Baron very quickly. Ocean Soul already over for Cloud9. I wonder if they'll think to check it. Blue pings here for TL as Schoenfire's moving in for the Baron. But I do see Cloud9 on this side of the map, so I think they know that something could be up. Diamond's going to find out right now. Can they get in, though? Diamond can't really do anything, and that's going to be Baron Team Liquid. A very bold call, but one that does pay off.
Schoenfire didn't even use Smite for that one. There was actually a chance that even a Make It Rain could have stolen it. At 67 HP
goodness.
was the last number we saw on the Baron. But that's a great call. It's something that people were really criticizing at the start of the season. Without Mountain, the ability to do the early Barons, it was really strong. But now, 20-minute Barons is a legitimate play that a lot of teams can go for when the champions and itemization match up. And that was the Rage Blade from Kai'Sa.
Yep,
which was
Kai'Sa going to be the
everything you
focal point of a lot of Team Liquid's team fights in the upcoming stages of this game. 5-1 and 2 for Akara, worth a massive extra 550 gold, and with 3 items and more on the way for the Kai'Sa. Certainly Rikara can get a lot of that work done. He's able to find the positioning. Cloud9 have done a really good job team fighting with this comp, despite the fact that, again, they are on somewhat of a timeout with their Renekton Elise. But so far, so good. They're just going to have to wait out the Baron that Team Liquid do have, and then perhaps re-aggress. And playing for that next Baron here is Cloud9 sticking together, trying to stop the siege coming in from TL.
It's a 3-pronged siege as well, with all lanes maximizing the Baron value. Curious to see if Rikara can use his ultimate to join the side lanes, and they can get a pick that way.
Good dance back
Could be
from
in the bot lane.
Gets his way out of there. Stun also lands for Yasui. Palafox, though, pops him with the Cutlass because he's also going for Blade of the Ruined King, but second this time round. Diamond gets the root in onto Schoenfire, pops the ulti up as well, gets a good chunk of damage done, so King again. 2 items and 1 extra BF sword. Not even that strong right now as the MF, although the IE has been upgraded by Ornn. But already, Schoenfire not feeling too tanky in the face of this misfortune.
Has the stone play that will be what will make him tanky. Any other time, he's just a beating bag for stacking your damage
So blue
numbers.
buff, I think, collected. Oh, Sidoni got it. Can't see it
Sejuani
under all
got
the
it.
purple.
No, wait, did she?
Baron is getting too.
No.
It's fine. I don't think Sejuani has it. Anyway, we'll find out later. Right now, I think what matters now is, again, this countdown for Elder, which will, of course, spawn before that next... around that time, actually, that next Baron is up. It'll be about 30 seconds after that. The team's just back out on the map, recalling, trying to spend what gold they can. We do have that Blade of the Ruined King now finished for the Renekton, although Palafox has just got behind and stayed behind throughout this entire game, thanks to the pressure that Yasui and Schoenfire were able to exhibit earlier.
And that's a good pressure that we can track, because now is a 1-4 Renekton strong enough to beat an Aurelia with an Ocean Soul? Is my question here, because there's not a lot of healing reduction on the side of Team Liquid. In fact, it's only the Bramble Vest out of Schoenfire, which not a lot of members are going to be proccing. And with a soul on champions that are having innate healing built into them, it could be Cloud9 just winning from that track.
I think TL will fight for it here. They've certainly got their carries strong enough to be able to contest for the objective. Not there yet. 2 minutes still as King is working on his 3rd item, but I don't believe he'll get there before the time to battle is here. Inori, though, has finished 3 items now. Sork Shoes, Sonya's Paradox upgraded by the Ornn, and Morella Nomicon alongside the enchantment means that Inori is a legitimate threat, especially on these squishier targets. We've seen that already in the last few fights.
And at least going against FLICKR, if you can catch him, that'll be amazing. FLICKR has all the evolutions now, though, so not only is there the stealth, the reduced cooldowns on W, the Kaisa is a very powerful champion that Inori's damage can instantly take out from a fight, and I want to see if he can use those cocoon accuracy skills that he's been using all game to catch the slipperiest member of
TL. They're playing these lanes the same way they did with the Baron, without it. They're just committing to that 1-3-1. They've got 2 good solo laners to do it in Jenkins and Yasui on the Sylas and Aurelia. And Cloud9 are kind of forced to stay together because winning individual duels doesn't seem particularly easy. I think Fudge will be fine in most of his lanes, but he's not going to win. And we already know Palafox is not able to threaten in a side lane without someone there to help him. So Yasui and Shern can get a lot done here.
And there's 3 items on Yasui, who's built all to split push here.
Ooh, ulti, they're going to go in for it here. Great hook as well by Cow, and TL lay the CC perfectly as now Cloud9 going to be in a 4v5, although kind of a 4v4 or 3v4, as Sylas has actually stayed top lane here. Cloud9 trying to clear out what they can, but this Elder up in 12 seconds. I don't think Cloud9 can fight for this realistically. Oh.
No, there's no TP on Palafox.
Yeah, I mean, Fudge just used to get bottom as well, and they have to answer the Sylas in top lane. So TL just have to be patient here. C9 is saying, no, we want to force this issue right now. Jenkins might just end the game if they're not fast enough.
He could TP as well, and I think Palafox will defend just because he doesn't have TP.
Prevent the follow-up here, but ooh, nice ult there again from Fudge as well. It does force the TP out of Jenkins, so I think this was the plan for Cloud9, but the Stolen Ornn ultimate could be the problem in the front line. No, it doesn't go front side, it's just tankiness from Fudge as he's absorbing so much damage, the bullet time over the top, and somehow in a 4v5, Cloud9 are winning this team fight outside the Elder Dragon. Are you kidding me? Cal, he's dead. Now it's a 4v4.
What? Renekton is here now? It's a 5v4. Cloud9's been playing Team Liquid like a book. This is their objective. They're not even losing their inhibitor.
Careful, but yeah, they just commit to the Elder Dragon. Team Liquid cannot regress after using all their cooldowns. I have no idea what business Cloud9 thought they had winning that team fight, but they knew something I didn't, because a legitimate 4v5 around the Elder Dragon that they started and took a little bit of damage from results in Team Liquid somehow straight up losing the fight.
So to start, Team Liquid had aggroed the Elder, so it was kind of like a 4.5 versus a 5-man, so they had that going on for them, and then Misfortune was positioned in the furthest back, so there was nobody that was even close to reaching her, so I think that with the tanks taking so much damage, and then Dragon piling up some side DPS,
oh, Inori, he gets out there. They're going to have to kill the jungler. That's the plan. But again, he's not going to be able to get in there. Now he's the only smite in the pit. He does go down though, so now Cloud9 will be able to finish off the Baron. But 8 HP was the number I saw as Yasui is trying to end the game through top lane. The shutdown lands as Inori is dead. Rakara is maybe going to get cleaned up here, but Jenkins going to run interference for as long as he can. Cow is also maybe dead to Fudge, but he's just buying a little bit more time. Yasui going to come in for the cleanup, but here comes King and Diamond. The bullet time out to defend, and he will be safe as Fudge is trying to continue to regress onto these Team Liquid members. Flashing for Rakara, finds the knock up there. Oh, the blast from the Elder Dragon, a double blast for Fudge. I wondered what he was doing and I forgot he had the Elder Dragon. That's 2 executes from the tank.
Yeah. He shines so bright now that he has that, and that's Elder and Baron. This is the game-winning push for Cloud9. This base means that they're going to try to defend the counter base race and end themselves.
He's strong enough with the Elder Dragon that you cannot mess around with the Ornn damage. So 3v1 right now for Cloud9. It's just Schönfire to defend. Yeah, I mean,
he's stopping
ports.
ports.
Trying to make sure the game can end here. Still 5 seconds left on Cow, 10 seconds left on Rakara. Cloud9 with 3 members still going to try and end the game. They're going to go into Schönfire first, but he's pretty tanky. Palafox again, not that strong. King, he's decently strong, but oh, it is enough to rip through with the Elder Dragon as Schönfire gets exploded. And Fudge trying to stop another back, but he will not find Aurelia there in the shrubbery, so Cloud9 cannot end the game just yet.
They're not
Fight
doing
starting, this time a 4v3. But again, the Dragon's still there. Cloud9 feeling pretty brazen as they are going to try and continue this siege.
This is good. They're continuing it. The jungle and top laner are on the way. Perfectly timed with the minion wave and with a teleport available. It has to be. Misfortune can just ultimate and they have to back off.
Bullet time trying to clear the way, but Fudge gets the eater up for the knock-up. And that's one Nexus turret down. Cow dives in, but it looks like he's dead in the front side, but the Vanguard's edge is nice. Yusui trying to dive through the fight, but he can't find the key targets, just channels the W and will fall down as Cloud9 Academy will finally finish off the game. The Nexus is open, they're just trying to pad the KDAs as best they can. King grabs the shutdown, kill number 10, and Cloud9 will end the season 14-4 with 12 straight wins, Crumbs.
You couldn't ask for a more feel-good way to end the season if you were Cloud9. Starting rough and finishing like this gives you the utmost confidence, especially because Team Liquid had a lead in this game, right? They had found a way to shut down Palafox. He was an 0-4 Renekton at one point, yet they were still able to put him in a place that he was useful and let Misfortune
that was
Elise
a masterclass in team fighting for Cloud9 Academy there. I mean, that last fight especially, one of the last fights around the Elder Dragon is kind of silly. We'll take a look at the playoff bracket now. As you can see, we now have no tiebreakers, so everything is sorted. Cloud9 and Dig & Tusk will wait as first and second seed respectively for the winner of the first round, but EG will be playing Team Liquid and TSM will be playing 100 Thieves, starting things off next Thursday, April 2nd. So around the same time here for the playoffs, but some pretty cool matchups.
Potential for rematches here, right? With TSM against Dignitas that we just saw, and maybe even Team Liquid against Cloud9. I think that the first and second seed are pretty stacked here. Like, those two teams feel like they have been playing just a little bit of a cut above, at least when it comes to consistency. Obviously, they've proven it all year long, but now that it comes to get into the playoff race, the veteran status also plays
like,
into these two squads.
Maybe we didn't think we understood the playoffs as well as we did in Academy, and now at the end of the day, it seems like everything has fallen exactly in the place we expected. But we still have one more game to go. When we return, we'll head to game number 5, which pits Evil Genius Academy versus IMT. We'll see you very shortly.